Hey guys, hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss a programming language which is just as simple and effective with many more built-in functions which makes developers' life easy and productive. So, in today's agenda, we are going to cover these topics: Introduction to Python, History of Python, Features of Python, Organizations that use Python. So, Introduction to Python. Welcome everyone to our exploration of Python, a programming language renowned for its simplicity, versatility, and power. Whether you are an experienced programmer or just starting your journey into the world of coding, Python has something to offer for everyone. But don't let its simplicity fool you. Python is a powerhouse in the programming world. Its extensive standard library provides built in functionalities for a wide range of tasks, from web development and data analysis to artificial intelligence and scientific computing. Whether you are here to expand your programming toolkit, dive into data science, or explore the realms of artificial intelligence, Python offers a solid foundation for your endeavors. So, let's embark on this exciting journey together and unlock the endless possibilities that Python has to offer. Throughout this journey, we'll delve into the fundamentals of Python programming, exploring its syntax, data structures, control flow, and more. We'll also discover how Python can be applied to real world problems and projects, empowering you to unleash your creativity and problem solving skills. So, we'll move on to the next slide, history of Python. So guys, what is history? Why we need a history and why to study history? No worries. I'm here to make you understand history. History seeks to understand the causes and effects of past actions and developments, that is their significance and relevance to the present and future. Since Python has relevance in the present scenario, its history should be studied. The history of Python is a fascinating journey. It began in the late 1980s since it is evolved into one of the most popular and widely used programming languages. Here's a brief overview. The evolution of programming languages is a story of continuous innovation and adaptation to the changing landscape of technology and human needs. History seeks to understand the causes and effects of past actions and developments, as well as their significance and relevance to the present and future. Since Python has relevance in the present scenario, its history should be studied. In the year 1980s, Python's story starts with Guido van Rossum, a Dutch programmer who began working on the language in the late 1980s. He was inspired by ABC. You might be wondering what ABC is. Well, no issues. ABC is a language developed at CWI. CWI is an institute, Centrum Wiskunde and Informatica, which is located in the Netherlands. Then, Guido aimed to recreate a language that could be easy to read and understand with a syntax that emphasized simplicity and clarity. Well, even we also prefer a simple and understandable subject, right? He had already created ABC earlier in his career and had seen some issues with ABC, but liked most of the features. After that, what he did was very clever. He had taken the syntax of ABC and some of its good features, it came with a lot of complaints too. So he fixed those issues completely and created a good scripting language that had removed all the flaws. The inspiration for the name comes from the BBC's TV show, Monty Python's Flying Circus, as he was a big fan of the TV show and also he wanted a short, unique, and slightly mysterious name for his invention, and hence he named it Python. He was the benevolent dictator for life. Then, entering to 1991, where Python 0.9.0 version came into the picture. Python 1.0. In the year 1991, Python was officially released as version 0.9.0 in February 1991. This initial version includes many features that are still part of Python today, such as exception handling, functions, and modules. In the year 1994, Python 1.0 was released. It marked the first stable version of the language. It includes the features like lambda, map, filter, and reduce, as well as support for modules and exceptions. So, we'll dive into Python 2.x series. 2000s. In this time period, the 2.x series came into existence. This series of Python saw significant growth in popularity and adoption. Many improvements and new features were introduced during this period. Introducing 2.x series made Python increasingly powerful and versatile. In the year 2008, the 3.0 series came into existence. Python 3.0, also known as Python 3000 or Py 3K, was released in December 2008. This marked a major milestone in Python's development. But why? It is because it introduced several backward incompatible changes to address flaws and inconsistencies in the language. And moving to Python 3.x series. In the year 2008, Python 3.x series has been the focus of development since Python 3.0. It introduced many improvements, a lot, including better Unicode support, a clearer syntax, and enhanced libraries. However, the transition from Python 2 to Python 3 was gradual. This was due to the compatibility issues between the two versions. And we will look into recent developments. In the year 2018, Python 3.7 was released. It introduced features like data classes and improvements to async. Then 2019. In 2019, Python 3.8 was released. It brought enhancements such as the walrus operator. Walrus operators refer to what? It makes us to accomplish two tasks at once, that is, assigning a value to the variable and also returning that value. In the year 2020, Python 3.9 was released with features like dictionary union characters and improved type hinting. In the year 2021, Python 3.10 was released, featuring structural pattern matching, improved error messages, and performance enhancements. So, as could see, each year brought some enhancements and improvements in the language, right? So, these improvements and enhancements improved the usage of Python and made it popular. So, now let's follow up the popularity of Python. Python has experienced tremendous growth in popularity over the years, driven by its simplicity, versatility, and a vibrant community of developers. Its usage started in development, data analysis, artificial intelligence, scientific computing, automation, and more. A very big thank you to vision of its creator. Well done, Guido van Rossum. Fine. Making the benefit of doubt, what features have made Python to be in popular usage? Now, let's link. Following are some of the features in Python that are discussed below. The very first popular and best feature of Python is easy to code. Python is a very high-level programming language, yet it is effortless to learn. Anyone can learn to code in Python in just a few hours or a few days. Mastering Python and all its advanced concepts, packages, and modules might take some more time. However, learning the basic Python syntax is very easy as compared to other popular languages like C, C++, and Java. The very next feature of Python is it is easy to read. Python code looks like simple English words. There is no use of semicolons or brackets, and the indentations define the code block. You can tell what the code is supposed to do simply by looking at it. Moving to the third feature, it is free and open source. Python is developed under an OSI approved open source license. Hence, it is completely free to use even for commercial purposes. It doesn't cost anything to download Python or to include it in your application. It can also be freely modified and redistributed. Python can be downloaded from the official Python website. And the fourth feature it has is robust standard library. Robust in the sense that it has less chance of failure, whereas library refers to pre-written code that is already defined code to perform specific task. Python has an extensive standard library available for anyone to use. This means that programmers don't have to write their code for every single thing, unlike other programming languages. There are libraries for image manipulation, databases, unit testing, expressions, and a lot of other functionalities. In addition to the standard library, there is also a growing collection of thousands of components which are available in the Python package index. The next one is Python is interpreted. When a programming language is interpreted, it means that the source code is executed line by line and not all at once. Programming languages such as C++ or Java are not interpreted and hence need to be compiled first to run them. There is no need to compile Python because it is processed at runtime by the interpreter. The very next feature of Python is it is portable. Python is portable in the sense that the same code can be used on different machines. Suppose you write a Python code on a Mac. If you want to run it on Windows or Linux later, you don't have to make any changes to it. As such, there is no need to write a program multiple times for several platforms. And the next feature is object-oriented and procedure-oriented. A programming language is object-oriented if it focuses design around data and objects rather than functions and logic. On the contrary, a programming language is procedure-oriented if it focuses more on functions, code that can be reused. One of the critical Python feature is that it supports both object-oriented and procedure-oriented programming. And the next feature is extensible. What does extensible mean to and how does it relate to programming language? A programming language is said to be extensible if it can be extended to other languages. Python code can also be written in other languages like C++, making it a highly extensible language. And the very next feature is expressive. Python needs to use only a few lines of code to perform complex tasks. For example, to display hello world, you need to type one line, print hello world. Other languages like Java or C would take up multiple lines to execute this. And the very next feature is support for GUI. GUI here refers to graphical user interface. One of the key aspects of any programming language is support for GUI, graphical user interface. The name itself makes it clear that it is a user interface. A user can easily interact with the software using a GUI. Python offers various toolkits such as Tincter, WXPython, and JPython, which allows for GUI's easy and fast development. And the next feature is dynamically typed. Dynamically means we need not to mention the data type. Many programming languages need to declare the type of the variable before runtime. With Python, the type of the variable can be decided during runtime. This makes Python a dynamically typed language. For example, if you have to assign an integer value 20 to a variable x, you don't need to write int x is equals to 20, you just have to write x equal to 20. High-level language. This feature you might be very keen if you are a beginner to programming. High-level language means it is independent on the machine type. Python is a high-level programming language because programmers don't need to remember the system architecture nor do they have to manage the memory. This makes it super programmer friendly and is one of the key features of Python. And the last feature of Python is simplify complex software development. Python can be used to develop both desktop and web apps and complex scientific and numerical applications. Python's data analysis features help you create custom big data solutions without so much time and effort. You can also use the Python data visualization libraries and APIs to present data in a more appealing way. Several advanced software developers use Python to accomplish high-end AI and natural language processing tasks. And moving on to next slide, organizations that use Python. There are various organizations that use Python programming language. In Google, it is used in web search systems, whereas in YouTube, it is used in video sharing services. In BitTorrent, peer-to-peer file sharing system, and in NASA, it is used for scientific programming, and in iRobot, commercial robot vacuum cleaners. I hope that you guys got an idea about iRobot vacuum cleaners. Okay, guys. So, we conclude our discussion today. I encourage you to continue your exploration, ask questions, and seek out new avenues of understanding. Remember, knowledge is a journey, not a destination. Thank you for joining me on this enlightening expedition, and I look forward to our continued exploration together. Bye, guys. See you in the next lecture.